So a couple days ago, I had some guy reach out to me on Instagram. And for those of you who don't know, hello, my name is Ben Kump. I'm the owner of Legacy Fitness Coaching. I'm an online health and performance coach. But again, a guy reached out to me on Instagram a couple days ago, and he asked me, Ben, how are you always so motivated? Right? That is basically what he asked me in a long paragraph, right? Things that he was struggling with. But at the end of it, his basic question was, how do I continue to stay consistent? How am I always so motivated, so disciplined with what I do with my health and everything that I do throughout my life, right? On Instagram, I make it very apparent that I'm 21 years old. I'm a business owner, right? I've got all my clients. I love to spend time with my family and friends. I'm a college soccer player. I'm a college student, right? I do all of these things. And after he asked me that question, it really came to me that I've never had to rely on motivation, right? It's never been, I'm so motivated today. I wake up and I'm so motivated. Let's go to the gym actually, right? I feel up to go to the gym today. It's never been like that for me for as long as I can remember. I'm going to take you guys all the way to the very first of when I can remember, right? I've always been active. I've always been an athlete. I'm obviously still an athlete in college. I'm a college soccer player, right? But again, ever since the beginning, for as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be the very best. The best that I can be, but also, yes, the best in every room. I wanted to be better than everyone else around me, right? The earliest memory that I have is Taekwondo. Right? It's a form of karate, of martial arts, okay? My parents put me in Taekwondo. I've been playing soccer since I was, 4 or 5 years old. I started Taekwondo around 5 or 6 years old, and I was still playing soccer at a very low level though, right? So doing soccer and Taekwondo at the same time, but let's stick with Taekwondo for now. My parents put me in Taekwondo, and I wanted to be the best, all right? Yes, we go through all of these different sequences of form, and you're like learning all the punches and the kicks and everything, right? And throughout practices, throughout competitions, right? Sparring people, fighting them, right? I just wanted to be the best. One of the best memories that I have is I am probably 6 or 7 years old. There's this other kid training next to me, and he's probably 11 or 12. This is actually a crazy story. So he's 11 or 12, I'm 6 or 7 years old, and it's a push-up contest, a pull-up contest, and sit-ups and push-ups, and we're doing all of these physical limitation tests. And all I wanted to do was beat this kid that was 4 or 5 years older than me, right? And I was not supposed to win this, right? But every little competition and contest, I made sure that I won. I think I did 16 pull-ups at 7 years old, right? And I have a paper to show that, a certificate, right? But it's just crazy, and that's all I can remember. I never thought that I couldn't do something, especially since I was young. I always knew and always thought, I'm gonna be the best. I can beat this kid. I don't care how much older he is than me. I don't care about his experience, his background. I don't care about him. I care about the task. And the task is I win. I come out on top every single time. And that's the earliest memory that I have, right? Taekwondo, always wanting to be the very best. Yes, I would still get nervous. I had this thing where I would snap, right? I'm sparring some kid, I remember, and I would just be like snapping my fingers because I was nervous, right? But I knew that I wanted to win, and I always put so much pressure on myself. And it could be bad for some kids to go through that, but that's what made me. That's what made me now, 10 years later, right? 12 years later. And so that's the earliest memory, right? But then, like I said, Taekwondo, I eventually achieved my black belt, right? I got my black belt, and that was around 10 or 11 years old. And at that point, I liked Taekwondo, but that wasn't my passion. My passion was soccer. So I was still playing soccer throughout that time in my life. And then after I got my black belt at 11, I finally took soccer serious. I wasn't in the rec leagues anymore that every kid joins when they're young. I started to go to competition soccer, right? And so I got in that, and like I said, this is definitely my passion. So I was competing in actually a high level of soccer at that point, and Yet again, every practice, every game, every practice with the team and practice with myself, I'm demanding excellence from myself. I'm never relying on motivation. I'm never thinking, man, I feel like going out and training today by myself, right? Never. I played a game and yeah, maybe I scored a couple goals, maybe we won, maybe we didn't, maybe I played horrible. Either way, good or bad, the next day, the next week, up until the next game, I was training every single day, training on my faults, training on my struggles, my own personal struggles, right? And then obviously training with the team. During the team, we have drills, a great example is hill sprints as well. I always put the constant pressure on myself to be the best, to always make it up that hill first out of everybody else, right? And that's just what I want to get my point across. From the beginning, ever since day one, I've always demanded excellence and the best from myself, never relying on motivation. It's always been that I want to be better and I don't care what it's going to take. If I feel like doing it that day, I don't care. I set a schedule for myself and I complete it. So that's Taekwondo. That's soccer. Soccer from 11, in terms of competitive soccer, from 11 until now still. Now I'm playing at the collegiate level, right? At 21 years old. I have one more season left. But still, I demand excellence from myself. We're doing a running drill. We're doing a passing drill. We're playing in a scrimmage. I want to win and I want to be the best. And this mindset has bled into every aspect of my life, obviously, right? Obviously in academics as well. I want to be the best. When we have a presentation up in front of the class, I'm studying other people. They go up there, they're all nervous. They're talking over themselves. They don't know what to say. I want to be better than that. So I go up there and I crush it. I'm confident. I'm being able to articulate exactly what I want to say, right? Being the best in every possible way. Another example, of course, now is business. I launched my first business at 18 years old. It was this little fitness community on school. I've told YouTube and my videos about this. Alex Hormozi, I believe he's a co-owner or something affiliated with it, right? And so that was my first business, right? And ever since then, I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be the number one, account community on school, right? And then my business sort of shifted. I then got into one-on-one coaching. And then from then, I just wanted to be the best coach in my specific niche and industry, right? I always want to be the best. And again, the title of this video and the main theme, I never had to rely on motivation. And the whole theme across my whole life of why I've never had to rely on motivation and why I always have the discipline and determination and passion for what I want to do and what I want to achieve. The one word I have for you to explain all of that is my why. My why. I've always had such a strong why. In the beginning, I always wanted to be the best. And even still, right? That's the basic commonality here, is that I always wanted to be the best. But another example I have for you is at 14, I'm training out for the high school soccer team. I didn't make varsity. My freshman year, I didn't make the varsity team. I made JV, whatever, right? And I hated it because I had to be with kids that I knew I was so much better than. But the reason I didn't make the varsity team is because I didn't have enough confidence. I was too small, I was too skinny. So I wasn't able to show my skill, show my confidence, show my passion on the field and with the ball. And so ever since that point, that is when I got into weightlifting, transforming my physique, focusing on my health, right? And getting bigger, being more confident. And that was my why at 14. At 11, it was because there was an older kid, and that was my why. I wanted to be better than him, right? Now my why in collegiate soccer is to be the best player on my team. Now my why in business is to be the industry leader. Always having a strong why, that is what you need so that you don't have to rely on motivation. Motivation means absolutely nothing when you're striving towards greatness, because that's not what's going to get you there, right? It's all about that discipline and the determination and having the strongest why possible. And you need to figure out what your why is. You probably already know it, right? And that's what's driving the success in every aspect of your life. And so those of you out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about how motivation means nothing and how it's all about discipline, passion, and having a strong why. Some of you watching this may not yet, right? And you need to figure out what your why is. Maybe it's finding what you are truly capable of. Maybe your why is doing it for a spouse, Maybe your why is doing it for your kids. You're overweight. Your why of why you wake up every day to take care of your health is for your kids, so that they can watch their father, a father figure, the person that they look up to, they can watch that person get into the best shape of their life and inspire them, right? Maybe your why is your spouse, your kids, your family, your parents, right? You're doing this for something. You have to find your why, and that's the crucial part of achieving greatness, right? And I love it because I know I'm still early in my business career, right? In athletics, I've done some amazing things, right? And unfortunately, this is my last year of playing collegiate soccer. I'm 21, I'm gonna graduate next year, right? And that will be an end of a long period, which will be sad, but what that has set me up to do in business and for the rest of my life in other elements and aspects has set me up for greatness. And I'm very grateful for that. So I don't wanna keep it too much longer than this. Find your why. Don't rely on motivation. I do not care about motivation. Of course, I still get motivated. I watch videos of David Goggins, Alex Hormozi, Greg LaVecchia, owner of Bloom, right? I still get motivated. Of course, I still feel that inspiration, but I don't rely on it. I don't look for it. I don't hope for it every single day. I wake up and I have a routine and I follow it, and I stay disciplined and determined towards the one task that I have for each day, every week, every month, and every year moving forward. So again, find your why. Don't rely on motivation, and that's what's going to help you towards that greatness. I hope that makes sense. I hope everything in this was inspiring, motivating to you, because this is supposed to be motivating, right? But it's also supposed to teach you about how to find your why and how to build that self-discipline. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one.